Hi everybody, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. We are on session 97 this week. We are actually playing a day late just because of scheduling. But hey, we're here. We're ready to roll in both definitions of the word. And well, for a quick recap of what has happened to the menagerie, they have been traveling along the North Mason Fair Byway as it splits up to head towards Whitlaw, the metropolis of Cled, where a few of the members have been before. Um, and along there, they're part of a 7-wagon caravan, 4 of which came from the remains of Green Hill, and 3 of which came from the east, and 1 for sure came from Carver, as I believe as Davis uh, identified one of the seals on the wagon. Uh, as they've been traveling for the last 2 days, they had worked together to devise a means to attempt to expunge the curse that we've just kind of came to know it as the curse of blind greed upon the satchel full of various rarities, valuables, jewels, gems, and other things that are of high monetary worth that the menagerie had encountered forever ago at Simon Ethenberg's home. He was essentially a corrupted hedge wizard by some means of this curse. Um, Keeping it secure within the satchel, the menagerie, led by Sej, who, Sej, I do need to go back with you because I will rewatched and I needed to see how many remove curses you would have attempted to sustain the ritual. I'll give you how many spell slots you need to mark off here shortly. Uh,
Okay.
Attempted to work together with said was Allegretto, the troop's bard, Rock, the group's wizard, diviner, and their friend, the sheriff of Volpine, who has agreed to accompany them up to Whitlaw to try to help expedite any paperwork and processing to get them back on their adventure as soon as possible, who happens to be a Order of the Ghost Slayer blood hunter. They worked together um, with some of the knowledge that Dregnar had pulled from the shadows about removing curses and that it can be done, however taxing and difficult it could be. But they did miss a key component in that there needed to be somewhere for the curse to be transferred to that it could be easily dealt with. Beginning the ritual, uh, poking a hole in the covered wagon to allow more sunlight in, said began with the assistance of Meeker, followed up by Al, and Al decided to go for a much a flammable approach, taking some of the holy oil that was given to them or given to the menagerie when they traveled to the necromancer's tower, lighting it ablaze and, well, dumping it in the bag and lighting it ablaze. The silver and white flames remained confined to the bag. However, the bag itself and the curse reacted to this divine intrusion as a purple smoke erupted and emitted, filling the cavern, and the curse defended itself by affecting some of the members. Uh, we'll just say eldritch tentacles spawned. The menagerie had to fight their way to contain and stop it. At one point, one of the eldritch tentacles attempted to swing away with the bag, but Karos was able to catch it, um, basking it in the sunlight, which proved to be uh, hindering to these aberrant abominations, and the menagerie were able to deal with it. However, right at the end, Rock went to get rid of some of the eldritch tentacles by feeding it to his bag of devouring, and Instead of just the tentacle being devoured, it sucked Rock into the cavernous, vacuumous space, and the bag fell onto the floor of the caravan, grinning. As some of the menagerie witnessed this, Pebble swooping in, landing near the bag, tweeting frantically, alerting them that something terrible has happened. Uh, we pick up with you guys with Rock in the bag, and I don't know what you guys are gonna do. So,
Um,
mhm.
do I get my turn in the bag?
Sure.
Okay.
As you're
I'm
sucked
going.
into this space with no lights.
I'm going to escape from the bag.
Okay. How are you gonna? What are you gonna attempt to do?
I'm just gonna try to get out of the bag. I think it's. I believe it says it's a strength check.
Yes.
But
So.
I would like to portent it.
Oh, okay.
With a 17, so that beats the DC.
I guess it's 15 to get out, right? It's
Yeah.
20 if somebody's helping you. Okay.
Yeah.
So as all of your heads kind of snap and look, Dragnar's beginning to kind of like step quickly to the bag, Pebble tweeting. You see for a brief moment the bag kind of shake, warp in size a little bit, shake some more, and then just basically expunge, and Rock is just kind of flung back out of the bag, ass over tea kettle, but he is not in the bag and doesn't seem to have incurred any negative side effects.
Ugh, 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 that it's not great in there, guys. That was I think I'm making progress with the bag. I think it was
Why
trying to
do we
talk to me.
still have this thing?
I'm gonna grab it and like quickly tuck it away. He's my friend. He spit me out on his own.
It was
We're friends
trying
now.
to devour you.
He was not. We were communicating. I think he tried to say the word friend, but it's very weird in there. I wouldn't.
I'm inside
We're
checking.
making
I'm
progress.
inside checking that. Fuck that.
Okay.
If
Uh,
anybody catches Al in the corner of their vision, he's raising the oil and kind of raising an eyebrow at Rock, like, eh? Eh?
yeah.
All right, I'll roll my check.
Yeah, you don't have to tell him what you're rolling, Rock.
Oh, oh God!
Don't worry, I rolled poorly too.
And I rolled a 4.
I mean, you might still beat me.
2 total. Yeah, I'm lying. Clearly, blatantly. I'm trying
I
to.
mean,
I want the bag to be my
obviously,
friend.
I know that now. Davis knows that. No, wait. You, he, no, he just ate you, right? Like he just.
Look, there's progress to be made.
Why do we keep this thing? Like, as a, as like a garbage dump, it's fine, but it's not gonna be your friend.
There are ways to talk to it, and I will learn. And I'll just be a little more careful with putting my hand in it. I was just confusing because it like ate some of the things it gave it during the battle, and then other things was like, bleh.
I think it just wants to
Maybe it
eat
was full,
everything.
but it didn't eat everything. It only ate some things. I'm learning. Be nice
Are
to my
you?
friend. I maybe not. I don't. I'm fine, and guys. I'm fine. Look, see, I got all my fingers and toes. My fingers.
As you look over him, he is not showing any signs of that translucent effect that some of you had experienced previously. So Pebble's like tweeting and kind of flying on his shoulder and staying like on the opposite side. So it's like Rock is holding the bag in his right hand. Pebble is like on his left shoulder, kind of away from the bag.
Smart
And
pebble.
as this is like little exchange is happening, Dragonheart will be the fire's still going. Sej, is the fire still supposed to be going? Just column. It's not near. It's like starting to subside and go down because it did at one point. That silver white flame spiked probably to be about 3 feet or so up high, but now they've kind of gone down maybe about half that height. But it is still being contained in that simple but elegantly designed leather bag.
That's not normal.
None of
Neither
this
has
is.
anything else been. And that bag needs to go.
Yeah. Wait, which bag? You talking about the bag that's on fire? Or you talking about the bag that Rock's holding?
Both.
Put one in the other and throw them in a fire.
I
Well,
think you
we can't
tried that.
we can't waste the gems now. I mean, everything just went tentacles coming out of poor Al. And the curse is probably broken now. Can I like investigate the jewels and see
Sure. Go ahead. What are you trying to ascertain?
if they seem curse free now?
Interesting. Yeah, you can, your choice, investigation or this case, religion.
Okay.
Wait, no, sorry, it's arcane, arcana.
Why
Sorry,
are my rolls so bad? I was gonna do investigation, so I got a 10 total.
10.
Rolled a 2.
It's hot. The bag. Are you picking up the bag? Or are you just kind of like looking at it? What, like, how are you interacting with it?
The bag of jewels?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I pick it up and kind of like
Okay. So
clear.
immediately when you pick it up, it's on fire, but it's not hot. The flame is contained, and you recall that the oils that you were given, and you had to use it against that giant undead abomination. They seem to be specialized in dealing with um, fiends and the undead. So it's kind of strange that they had an impact here. Uh, the flames are still going. You can't really ascertain much other than weird. The bag's not really hot, but everything in there is on fire. But when you kind of look in there, they don't seem to be being like charred or singed, or there's no blackening to anything in there. Like what you can see through the fire, the gems are still shiny. The gold is still gold. Like there's no damage to the objects inside.
I can't tell, but at least it's not hot. Look at this, and I'll just like play with the fire a little bit.
Yeah, you just run your
Pass it off
you
to anyone else who wants to have a look.
as he runs and sits his hand in the fire, it just kind of runs through his fingers, but it doesn't. He's not retracting in pain. And at that time, Dragnar will be like, looks like, oh, we got attention to the people are coming, and you kind of peer out now that there's no hood
Yeah.
on this covered wagon. It's just the ribs
It's not even
standing.
covered.
Yeah, and the driver has been like, able to kind of ring in the oxen and the plains cow that have been pulling this. Uh, he's he's they come running in. He's like, "Is everything okay? There was what is that column of light? Oh God!" As two of the escorts kind of ride up.
Can I cover my face with my cape, just kind of so all my eyes peer out before they get out the corner?
Sure, go ahead and give me like a sleight of hand. Just see how well you're able to.
If it
Eh,
helps, I'll like stand up as they come in and try and draw their attention. Be like, yes, yes, everything's fine. We're okay. Everybody's fine.
Everything
Just
hurts.
a bit of a mishap.
Well, while he does that, I'm going to try to stash both bags away in my shell while trying to get the fire out quickly. It's like patting it and like trying to stuff it didn't mean to hide it.
As you're patting it, that fire is not going out. Like there's still something that's a fuel source.
I'm
Uh,
stuffing it in my shell and I'll just glow.
Uh,
So you vanilla ice, turn off the lights, and you'll glow.
okay. So you're just putting
Oh,
it like in one of your many satchels or extra little flaps that you have that like keep it.
Yeah.
So
Just
okay.
around. And then I'll like, pull my cloak tightly over and just try to pretend like everything's normal.
All right.
Yes, yes. There was a ritual that we were working on. It didn't quite go as planned, but we've got it under control. Everything's fine. We're all fine. We can just continue moving on.
there
Walk
used to
through.
be evil here, and now there is no evil. So it's everything's good.
Okay. I guess instead give me a persuasion check at advantage because of uh Davis. And as you're doing this, the Oxrin, I think I named him. Yeah, Oxrin. The driver will be like, "You mentioned big rats, and they got rats. That's bad because we have supplies back there." And he's like, "But now the wagon's at a steady pace." And Al, like, they see you kind of covering up, and one of them's kind of curious, but not approaching right now.
Yikes.
Just do like representing the two
Even
as
with
one.
advantage, not that good of a roll.
Nice.
Good.
He's like, one of them will kind of look over to Meeker and then look back at Usage and say, "Ritual? What? Why would you be performing a ritual? What are you up to?" Meeker, are they trying to get out of here? Is this some sort of nefarious ploy to escape? And you can see that one of them whistles. I'm not gonna whistle very loudly. I don't feel like it. You see a couple more starting to turn on their steeds and start heading back down towards y'all's wagon.
Listen, we don't want trouble. We were just trying to take care of something. We've taken care of it. It's fine. It just got a little bit out of hand on the way, but everybody's fine. There's no trouble anymore. We're not trying
Is
to cause
there,
any trouble. We're not trying to go anywhere.
Adam, is there any corpses, or did they all sizzle away in the
They
sunlight?
Most of them basically like sizzled and kind of, they didn't like completely turn to goop. There's still remnants, but it's kind of like rapidly decomposed by the sun.
I'll try to grab one of the ones that is most whatever one was
Intact.
like maybe the last one that we
Okay.
that killed. And just some of this little few stowaways. And I'll toss it at the guy who was suspicious of us, like to his
Okay.
chest.
So you toss it to him. He obviously can't really dodge it. Just kind of splash. Oh, he gets it, and
Yeah,
throws it
it's
on the
kind of
ground.
nasty. Yeah, we didn't really want to go into details, but
And
whatever.
Karos, you have this like black purple tar kind of stuck on your hand
Yeah,
and
I'll
on
just
your
kind of
palm.
like put my hand up, like it's fucking gross, right? Like
You were traveling
shake.
with this? What is wrong with you?
Hey, we're
We
the
found the
menagerie. We get into all sorts of shit.
Appreciate it if you didn't bring the shit to endanger us all.
Yeah, well, we would
better to
we would
take care of.
we didn't want to be on this
Kind
road
of,
anyway, so that's y'all's fault.
and it's kind of why we took care of it now instead of later.
We figured it was better to do out in the open than in the city borders, just in case.
Yep.
You know,
Meeker will
more
chime
places
in.
to hide.
They're right. Imagine if this would have happened in the city. They actually did, you know, the cause, the sovereign, all of them. They did us a service by doing it on the road. Someone roll me a d20 for Meeker.
I feel like I gotta change my color, so I won't. Don't.
I've been rolling like
Nice.
shit. So, oh, there you go. Nice.
Welcome.
Good job, Meeker. You're on point.
Don't worry, I've got you
the
covered.
the two that started, were whistled up over and joined, and kind of look and say, uh, "Sheriff, you're if you're a part of this, you need to be very careful what you say because this does not look good. And what's wrong with your friend? Why is the one with the big hair covering his face?" Meeker will say, "He he he got the worst of it. But he'll be all right. He'll recover. And I'm not covering anything. They passed it by me, and I said, all right. Like, it's better to get this done here than in town."
So you want anything we do should run by you? Hey, I gotta go take a piss. You wanna come hold it for me?
Uh, yeah, he responds to that.
Yes. Now.
He's like,
Listen,
get it.
we don't want to we didn't want to cause any alarm. We didn't think there was going to be any issue. It got a little bit out of hand. We took care of it. It's fine. Again, we were doing this to make sure that there wasn't going to be trouble in town later. That's it. We're good. If there's going to be any other crap that may be dangerous, we'll give you a holler, okay?
There better not be
Yeah, I
anything
don't think there will
dangerous
be,
as
but you
opposed
never know.
All right, give me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage, man.
This y'all's
No, I
rolls were
know,
not
I know,
good.
I know, I know.
Al is sub 10,
Oh
Sej is sub
God.
10, Beaker is sub 10.
So
So like,
the high roll of my two d20 rolls was a 4. The low
Ugh.
roll was a 3, so it's a total of 10 still.
10, yeah. Not a good look. They kind of just watch y'all over, and then two of them will, say, no more crap. And then two of them will ride off, and then the two other ones will remain, just kind of escorting y'all's cart more diligently now. So you guys have a watch now, basically.
Yeah, I'll like just mutter like, I guess we're gonna be babysat from here on out.
But yeah, um, retracting into this what was once a covered space. Um, the as the time passes, Karos, because you interacted with the tar itself would eventually begin to like harden, become brittle, and then you can almost like flake it off. And like
Okay.
where the aberrant tentacles spawned or manifested, there's that gunk, but it very quickly goes from being like a sticky pool to almost like dry, and you can almost like flake it away, and it just goes away. Uh, Pebble continues to sit on the opposite side, wherever the bag of devouring is, as far away as she can comfortably. And then Meeker's just kneeling down by Al, and you don't look that great, pal. Uh, we might actually need to go see a proper healer at one of the temples, maybe.
How well do you
Al,
know Whitlaw, Meeker? Do you know your way around okay?
I mean, it's constantly changing, always getting bigger. It fairly well. I know the districts. I know
Did you say you
some
have
key
allies in
landmarks.
town?
Of course,
Okay.
enemies too. But,
Oh, to be understood.
I mean, yeah, definitely allies. But again, I don't really. I'm at Volpine because I don't really like Whitlaw.
Oh, I understood. I hate the place.
Where I went. Well, not all of it's bad. Some interesting trade, great music, really
Eh,
smart folk.
their taste in music is a little limited.
Mm, well, maybe if they hear one of Al's tunes, you'll feel better about yourself. So,
Roll slowly gives a thumbs up.
yeah, there's just the general blood pooling underneath you, Al. Because, like, you're not gonna
No,
bleed to death, but your wounds are certainly not closed.
not waterboarding. I'm bloodboarding myself. Yeah,
Gross.
that's
Sort
metal.
of, yeah. But yeah, as if you guys are not doing anything too pressing right now, Rock, after about another 10 or so minutes, the that sound of the fire lightly crackling underneath where you've got it covered, which it didn't burn into your clothing, into whatever you used to cover it, seems to have subsided.
Okay.
But if anyone, as the travel continues, uh, kind of quietly, especially quietly, since you had such a brief, eventful moment of dealing with the ritual and then the bag with your two escorts. The 6 other caravans and yourselves do eventually make it to the next resting point, about a day or day and a half out from uh,
The
Whitlaw.
crossroads. Oh,
No,
wow.
you're
We're
left
further then.
Crossroads.
Nice.
Yeah, you're like up here now. Oop. Sorry, I forgot to move the circle. As you leave, many of the fields for the plains cows behind, starting to get just into general um, grass fields, almost like a endless sea of high grasses of various greens um, that are returning. Like fresh growth is coming as it is that change of season. So much of the dried browns and yellows are going away, being replaced by fresh, vibrant greens. Uh, Still a very almost cloudless day, peaceful, turning into night at the rest. There are the 7 caravans all essentially circling up together, making a common space in the middle with a few fires. There are the ever-present pause members. Uh, Anything you guys are interested in doing in the evening?
Yeah, I'd like to go find the people who came from the east and chat with them.
The one specific group?
Yeah,
Okay, so they were the ones that had like the
the
pickaxe
pickaxe,
and
yeah.
yeah. And as you kind of approach and you have some time, it's
So what
it's
kind
where
of
there's
people are they talking about? Like humans? Are they...
so as you're like approaching the caravan, the first thing that you would notice is that while it is a pickaxe, there also seems to be the symbol that they have is that there is a leaf underneath the pickaxe, so it's almost like the pickaxe is striking a leaf.
Interesting.
Um, but that being said, go ahead and give me a perception check real quick, Davis.
Sure.
I don't think you have any bonuses for smell.
I
So,
don't, but
okay,
22.
22. So it is. So the caravan is theirs fairly nice. Like it's not anything impressive. It is covered. It is a little even in like the dim, the dark. The lack of light, even from the light from the fires that you guys have. You can still see that it is a little bit like dusted over. It is very like a dirty wagon. But it's like loose dusting, and it's got a very particular smell, very earthy, very like smell of the earth. That's the best way I could explain it. Um, it's very very strong. It's very fragrant smell of just dirt. But you do approach, and there are a few individuals um, that right now have their backs towards you. But you've seen them for a moment, and we'll say that there's a one that seems like a human. How is a lot more hairy. Uh, from what you can tell, like his arms are fully bristled. His legs, because he's wearing like shorts, like shorter cut pants. They seem to be fully furred. His ears seem to be slightly pointed. There's another individual that is very akin to you. He seems to be more of like the gray skinned complexion, uh, seemingly a little bit larger than your average person, rather well built, um, long hair, but it just keeps it like in one ponytail straight back. And then there's a dwarven individual, which interestingly enough doesn't have your, as you kind of see, the side profile of his head as he's talking to one of his friends. He doesn't have that long beard that most people associate with. He actually just has very thick side brows and mutton chops, essentially, but no beard. Uh, but yeah, so
Sure.
they look all 3 male individuals.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of approach. I assume they're not like paying me any mind, but I'll just approach and be like, "Hey, hello, fellow caravan travelers. Listen, I'm with the menagerie. I'm sorry about the commotion earlier and a little bit of confusion and the heightened tensions. I just wanted to say, apologies for, any trouble we may have caused, but I just wanted to make sure everybody realize we're not here to cause any trouble. We're just, trying to head to Whitlaw, trying to, you know, do what's right. So,
No, no trouble here. Honestly, it's kind of nice to have a little bit of excitement on the road,
yeah, yeah.
as long as they're not bandits trying to steal from us. It's
You guys been on
yeah.
the road pretty long then? I mean, I think we caught up just outside of Volpine. You didn't come from the south like us. You were coming from the east, I think.
No one comes from the south. Well, I guess the south's been cut off, but apparently you would know that because you. I mean, it's more interesting that you guys are coming, but I guess Green Hill is recovering. Rumors have it.
Yeah, yeah. It's on the road to recovery.
Mm, I heard there were massive giants and stuff. I don't know. That didn't affect our trade route, so well,
Well, that's good
just kind of
news.
was like, well, yeah, uh, just Carver to Whitlaw, Carver, Whitlaw to Carver, back
Okay.
and forth. So, but what group did you say you work with? What's it?
The Crass Menagerie is kind of what our the name of our adventurers group is, party, if you will.
Hmm. Well, we're I guess mercenary group or something. Okay. Well, we're part of the we're part of the Dusty Pick. Uh,
Okay.
we
Mining, I assume.
uh, yeah, out of the Story Mountain.
Fantastic.
Uh, yeah. However, I mean, yeah. What business are you guys going to be doing up in Whitlaw?
Oh, I mean, if there's a bunch of us. We all kind of have our own little thing. It's a big city, So, um,
Oh, it's massive.
yeah, we may have a couple of words for the sovereign. We'll see. Uh,
Wait, you can go. You guys are. How are you going to see the sovereign?
you
No one
know,
sees.
that's maybe just wishful thinking. We just have a couple of things we'd like to
Uh,
share. We were down in Green Hill. We just wanted to give him a report. Tell him exactly what happened. Sort of give him yeah,
hmm.
just give him a report.
Well, that's good that he still cares about
Oh yeah,
all of his
definitely,
people.
definitely.
Mm. Well, uh, care for some tea,
Sure,
some
sure,
fresh.
fantastic.
Yeah, they have like a nice little, setup, little two-prong stand, little kettle holding over.
Nice.
They just take a couple coals and just kind of throw it in this little container that keeps the water hot. They pour you one. Simple, just like we'll just say it's rose hip. We found some bushes along the way and we just gathered some.
Oh, very crafty, nice.
Dude, keep you warm at night.
It's been a while
So
since I had a nice cup of tea, so this will hit the spot.
yeah. So Davis, now that you actually know anything on, you can clearly say some sort of shifter, some another half orc, and then a the dwarven male figure, and they all, as you're kind of sitting in proximity of them, they all kind of have this earthen smell to them as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and like needle him for any information just now. I'm just trying to be nice, is all.
yeah. Oh, well, it's pleasant. I'm sure one more day on the road, inventory, and then we can offload and
And then just right back to
straight
Carver.
back. Basically, we're just running for the boss. Just just delivering.
Who's the boss?
Oh, the guy that started the Dusty Pick. We're
Wait,
just employees.
he's back in Carver still, I assume.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, smart guy. mm, Trying to make a name for himself in a non-traditional sense. Everyone always goes to Carver hoping to get lucky and still find some of those remaining, uh, shiny gems and jewels. It's not why we're there. Not what he wants.
Which is what?
Apparently, he sells the dirt. It goes for well. I mean, it seems to do. The farmers tend to really like it.
Oh, it's like very rich, I guess.
I guess so. And then the shifter will kind of intervene. He's like, yeah, basically, I mean, Cled's pretty awesome. And the whole Harvest Reach is pretty awesome in that it's, really rich soil. So much farming, so much gathering from the land. There's pockets where it needs some reconstitution, some fortifications, if it were. And the boss found out that what was waste out of the mountain is actually pretty valuable.
Oh, good
He
find.
claims that he was kind of growing some random veg and noticed that it was growing really well,
Well, he seems like a
making a
smart
business out
guy.
of it. Yeah,
I- Rock mutters under his breath. Just, I don't know if they hear it or not.
Are you over here?
Am I not over there?
I mean, it's kind of a separate thing, but
Oh, okay, I won't say anything to it.
okay. I mean, I don't know unless it's like close enough.
you would have walked a little bit of ways to go find. Like it's still a circle, but
I
then
mean,
you
Rock,
kind
you
of
tend to wander, so if you want to be over here, you can be over here,
yeah, you
probably.
could just pop up like hello.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just hearing last bit will just Rock will just kind of mutter under his breath. I don't like things to make things grow better. If this turns out to be Hags again, I'm leaving, and I'll just walk away.
Um, they don't hear. He doesn't hear you. Definitely doesn't hear you. Nah, they don't hear
So I
you.
guess with my passive 15, would I hear?
Yeah, I'll allow that. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Like you kind of get the tail end of it because you're used to hearing his voice. Kind of picks up under your ears. And he's like, boss is an entrepreneur. There we go. That's what he likes to say.
Yeah.
So,
What's his name? I'm just curious if I've heard of him.
uh, oops.
I was gonna say Adam checks notes.
Adam takes notes. I have it here.
I figured you would. I figured it wasn't a hard ask to
No,
if
it's
you've
just
got
I'm
a
on the wrong page. That's
yeah.
the only issue. Like I hate when I do that where I'm like, seriously, where's my names? Okay, chapter 3. Okay, it's not chapter 3. I must have had it on the city.
His
Harvard,
name
Harvard,
is
Harvard,
Boss
Harvard.
Man.
Yeah, his name's Boss. That's all that we call him is Boss. Uh,
Simon. His name is
it,
Simon.
no. It actually, his name is Scoot.
Scoot. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. No. No. Okay.
yeah.
The Dusty Pick, huh? You guys,
That's the pick.
you guys ever need any help for any stuff? If I have anybody who's looking to make some coin,
Oh, I mean, uh, the bags weigh a ton, so
yeah,
sure.
big strong folks.
Mm, there we go. I mean, I'm sure maybe uh, there's some other needs. I don't know, but basically, I know muscle is always useful.
Oh, good to know. I'll if any of my associates are looking for some work down that way, I'll make sure that they, I guess, come seek you guys out.
Yep. Not
Fantastic.
that. I mean,
Or
well, I mean,
anybody we can find with a Dusty Pick, I guess.
essentially, I mean, don't really expect. Doors are usually open, during business hours.
Right
It,
on.
the mountain is the mountain. I mean, there's not like you can't go and strike a pick to it. So,
But yeah, why not?
no, you can.
Oh, you
That's
can't.
what I'm saying. It's like you can
Gotcha.
come, you can strike. I mean, that's what people have been doing for hundreds of years, but they basically dug it clean.
Interesting.
You know the stories, right?
But I can't say I do.
So you're not from Cled then.
Not originally. I've spent some time here now, but no, I'm further north.
Well, it's nice to have a chat and reminisce on some stories. So basically, the mountain used to be somewhat of a quiet place. Then a few folk apparently struck some vein that made them rich. As it would, you know, rumors travel over some years, start drawing people in. People get greedy. People keep digging. People trying to make a quick, score. Find a vein or precious gems, metals. Unlike, you know, basically people that had nothing to lose came over. A few hundred years of that, clean it straight out.
Wow.
Carver was growing, was doing good, and then no more income, no more interest. Went to hell real quick. Neglected, forgotten. He may have even, I don't know, passed through it, not even recognized, or even thought about it. 'Cause it's just a dust ball, honestly.
Bit of a ghost town.
Not quite. I mean, there's still some people living there.
Gotcha.
There's still farmland. There's still, well, there's still Scoot and Dusty Pick now, trying to, entrepreneurs what they can.
Does the
And then there's,
does the
mm,
cause help keep order there, or is it?
yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, it's all part of Cled. Cosby where Cled be.
Okay.
I mean, there's not like the largest contingency, but
Understood.
it's not lawless, but it definitely there's definitely some questionable activities at times.
I mean, any place there's businesses and enterprises, there's gonna be some questionable activities.
Hmm. But no, there's still those fools that come to Carver trying to say that if there's such a big mountain, there's got to be more. So you got people that come, there's people that guide them into the different veins and mine shafts and help them. So there's still business, but it ain't anything like it was before our time. So
Till Scoot figured out a different way.
seems to be doing well for himself. I mean, he keeps us employed
Yep.
selling dirt. So I mean, whoever thought selling dirt? There's a guy named Joe that would be really proud, but had to go there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll just keep sipping my tea and
Just exchange little stories. Yeah, I mean they're pleasant enough guys. They're just honest. They seem like honest workers. That's about it.
yeah, I'll regale them with some menagerie stories if they press, or if the occasion arises.
Yeah, they really don't seem to press too much. Just by the general tone of the conversation, they didn't seem to know that other than just giant activity happening down below. Didn't really bother them. Not slight. They're part of the world, right? It's not their neck of the woods, so whatever. And I'm assuming you're not like walking around fully armored and all that,
No, no,
right?
no, no, no.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't look like yeah. So they just see you as like another traveler.
Yep.
Yep, pleasant enough guys. They'll stay up pretty late if you stay with them, just chatting.
Sure.
So, anyone else doing anything this evening?
I got a few little tests to run.
Test?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
If I'm back in the wagon, I never would have left. Um,
You just stayed. You're like, I refuse to be seen like this.
mm, are there any stains on the floor? Any
Sure.
blood, tar?
So it would be like almost like it developed like a really thin skin and just like dehydrated really quickly. So it's not like a pool so much as like a dry stain. But yeah,
Mhm.
there's some remnants.
Okay. I want to try to clean it with prestidigitation. Usually I have to say something. I think I usually just say clean in kind of an static voice, but I'll do what I
Mm.
can and see if I can get that verbal component out to
Oh
cast the
yeah,
spell.
you can cast a spell. It hurts like just your throat is, for a lack of a better term, like ravaged, but it's still functional. Like
Okay.
you can cough up the word clean.
Okay.
It as you go to kind of like move it away, it just kind of flakes and like a a thousand little dust particles in the wind
Okay.
and blows
So
away.
still got its effectiveness. Okay.
Mm.
Then I'm gonna go into the corner with the shield, mirror shield, buckler, and take off the cape and try seeing if we can disguise self. Just to we'll go old owl and just kind of test things out.
Oh
I
yeah,
think my main, aside from the face, my other concern is the hair.
okay.
Um, I don't know if like there's a cutoff point.
No, I'm not gonna make it like that. The illusion is able to, mask your broccoli fro, and you're able to give yourself whatever hairstyle you wish. You know, the image of your horns come back, the opening like in your cheek and all that closes. You look like an older owl.
Owl completely forgot about his horn, so he will like try to reach for him and touch the hair. He's like, oh, right, right.
You feel the hair, and then you feel the horn. Like, oh yeah, okay, okay.
So that's where they're hiding. Wow. Uh, okay. Just I wouldn't know that he could do that. I guess I've got my repertoire of spells back.
Well, you also got your mask of many faces, right? So,
Mhm. Basic. Okay. That was the main thing.
okay,
I was probably gonna try and save his voice for the most part,
okay,
but he'll sit with the group for eating and whatnot.
understood. Perfect. So, uh, as you guys eat your, traveling ration, um, Meeker will just, inform you guys, yeah, we should be getting there either really late tomorrow, or early the following day. Kind of depends. Not too much to say other than let's just try not to do no more ritual because I think it worked, right? It worked. We're done with that. We don't have to deal with that again.
I'll break my silence in like a meditative sitting position and just be like, yes, yes, it worked.
Okay, because you mentioned that it was pure, or the light was pure or something. Okay. Well, that's congratulations. I mean, it's not a simple feat, so good job.
Don't worry, I only have 2 rituals left to do tonight. But I do them every night. It'll be fine.
Okay. Standard fare then. Got it. Well, uh, I guess we'll turn it in early. See if we get a nice early start. Let me make sure. I would imagine everybody would like to take a good and early start to try to make it an evening, so we don't have to stay another night. So, if you guys are asleep by the time I return, good night. If you ain't, I'll be here to chat. And Meeker kind of starts walking off, and you see him kind of like look for a cause member. They start to discuss something, and you see him kind of walk off.
Is one of those rock rituals building a tower?
I will be building myself a sandcastle tonight. With the same help available side if anybody needs anything over the night, where people can come in and have a nice swim. And I've decided to add to my nightly rituals one casting of telepathic bond between me and my bag friend.
And no one else.
All right.
And instead of trying to talk to it, I will just cast that. And every night before I fall asleep, I'm going to sing in my head like a turtle song. A song from my village. Maybe a ballad, maybe a tale. Just get him used to like turtle things.
All right. Just need to pronounce this.
It might be friendship, it might be torture. I don't know.
But okay. So
It's just nonstop screaming.
I was gonna say, I think, because I don't think you can stop the bond once it starts.
creature and
But
enter the
I think
bag.
Adam has special rules for the bag and that spell, so.
No, yeah. The bag has its own special rule, but that is one of the spells that is definitely on the list. So
Like, he could just
yeah, you're
torment you for freaking an hour.
True, it could just start yelling back at me.
Yeah, like it could
I don't
just.
know what's going to
You
happen,
want to
but
hear the
I'm.
most annoying sound in the world?
so you so we'll say you construct your tower. Are you doing this up in your second floor of the tower in your little study?
Uh. No, I'll be on the main floor just kind of having a nice little swim.
Okay. So as the evening progresses and you have your tower, in your state of relaxation, and you remember that you want to add this telepathic bond to the bag. You focus your intent on this bag with its simple. It's not in its grinning state. It's in that straight facial expression. There's just, and then you feel a connection form at the end of the 10 minutes or so silence, at least from the entity or the bag, and you feel that connection after like the first 15 seconds or so is really taxing. It's hard to keep, and it feels like the bag itself is like trying to, not in a way like suck your brain in, but it's just like consuming the magic of the ritual in a way, making it very hard to sustain.
Okay, I'll fight through it as long as I can, and just continue to try and, tell stories and sing songs in my head to it, and just generally being friendly, and until I just, I guess I would fall asleep. From
Well, unfortunately, as you're like trying to, keep that communication going, after about 60 seconds, it's severed. You feel that break in that connection.
okay,
As to keep the contact with this entity, it's extremely difficult, and you kind of give me an Arcana check.
well, for frick faith, natural one. I mean, it's still like a 13, but
Well, that's still, but that didn't need to make you roll then, because it's still enough because you know what the bag is. You do realize that keeping contact with this is probably only going to be able to last for about a minute or so, just by the nature of the bag and the entity. No matter how you're reaching out to it, that you
okay,
get brief windows of contact.
I'll be singing in very quick little ditties.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I'll just float around, and if anybody wants to come into my castle, all are welcome.
Any of you that do walk in see that the bag is floating around in there with him. So,
Nothing to see here, folks.
yeah,
I like it outside.
right. So with
I
that,
think I'm gonna stay outside too,
that's,
under the stars.
yeah, and it is a lovely evening. Uh, crisp, smooth breezes kind of washing over through the fields. You see in the starlight, moonlight, and also due to the campfire lights that the tall grasses off in the distance, they basically are like waves as the wind kind of travels through, and there's that sound, kind of that whistling sound as the wind travels through the different reeds and grasses. Very comforting, very easy to fall asleep to, even after this ordeal that you guys had. So I think James mentioned he wanted to have something.
Some meditations, maybe.
Yes. Just wanna pull it up real quick, and then we'll go on to the next evening.
Meditating
Uh,
on tentacle bullshit.
no, actually, he wants a history check done on the Sovereign. So roll me a d20. I believe, he is he gets proficiency and can use his wisdom or something.
Okay.
So look what it says. I'll find the bonus for you.
Okay, I'll just do the d20 then.
Yeah. Notes. Oh damn. Okay.
There we go.
Turns out the Sovereign and Drugna are best friends.
Yeah, right?
No, the Sovereign has done some sneaky shit in the shadows. What that means?
I mean, if it's wisdom plus proficiency, that's 26 total.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it allows him to use his wisdom. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna bother with whispers just because he's not here. So as Dragonov is kind of focusing and the sounds of the whistling through the grass allows him to really reach deep inside of himself and make this connection with all the things that the shadows have witnessed throughout history. And he sees that the position of the sovereign is one that was established long ago. There have been many sovereigns of exchange, and the sovereign happens to be one of many that rule over Whitlaw and thus the region of Cled, essentially. But the sovereign tends to be the one that is of the maybe a little bit more powerful than the rest just because of their position and their influence in trade and in exchange and in keeping, the wealth and the influence coming in and out of Whitlaw. Uh, there is um, yeah, so the sovereign is the head of what is known as the Exchange Council, made up of various old families, original families of Whitlaw. They seem to have different positions and delegations. Uh, there's like, for example, the general of the Verdant Cause tends to be a member of the Exchange Council. The Minister of Justice in Whitlaw is a member of the Exchange Council, and there's other ones as well, such as like a transportation officer and things of this nature. Uh, the most recent sovereign is an individual, is a human male that, uh, while he doesn't get an image or visual of him, uh, he gets a name whispered to him through the winds as he listens. It's Mangiato Luster. It's been the sovereign for well over a couple of decades now. Um, but there really isn't, even with a natural 20, 26, there isn't too much dirt pulled up on him through the shadows. He he has no wife, and he has two children, a son and a daughter. A daughter that was very rebellious and left Whitlaw, and a son that is um, a burden because of his ailments.
Wow.
I will say correct, Mundo. Well, he doesn't see the daughter. Correct.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
That's it. Correct. Yes.
That's actually correct?
Yes.
I was joking.
Whoa, shit, dude.
No.
Well,
Wait, isn't she dead? Didn't we
she
kill
is
her?
dead. Well, we didn't, but she is
Well,
dead.
I mean, we kind of did. Okay, well, Robert's not gonna like us very much.
Oh, good, we don't like him very much.
Oh, why do you think she was able to pay y'all in platinum? Why do you think she was able to have a? There's reasons, but yeah, daughterism. Dregnar, I guess that would snap into Dregmar's mind, and he'd be like wide-eyed for a moment, and then you would just, if anyone was within proximity, they would just hear him say, "Shit."
He says that all the time.
Yeah, and he just kind of cracks his knuckles and just lets himself fall backwards and just looks up at the night sky and drifts to sleep.
You're welcome, James.
Yeah. Yeah, Amara Lester. That was her name. Okay. Anything else from anybody?
Unless Donnie mentioned, because he left, unless he mentioned something.
Yeah. He's tired. No, he just, so his notes were tired real fast. I want to simply help along the process to reaching Whitlaw, whatever that may bring, which could be anything. But I have to break at some point. I would love to get invested in the Festival of Colors.
Oh, yeah.
He
Nice.
wants to break from the group and actually do stuff at the festival. Okay.
Nice.
Maybe participate in some okay, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So with that, we'll say sleep finds the group. Uh, Sej, as he does traditionally, wakes early to greet the sun. Um, and in that, I would say in that evening, uh, Rock, right before you fell asleep, there was this absolute darkness right before you fell asleep, and you felt this unnatural hunger, but only for like a brief moment. Like it was so brief, but it kind of lingers with you even when you wake up. You get remember that sensation, right? Like kind of when you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, but then it kind of passes again.
Okay.
As Sej is waking, kind of getting ready, he notices that there's activity and motion, and one of the cause members says, "Get the rest of your folks up. We're gonna make get going here in the next 30 minutes. Eat and get going. We want to get there. We want to make good time." And Sej will kind of come around, waking all of y'all up. Meeker will kind of come up to rock to your sandcastle. He'll be the one that actually does wake you up. But you guys hit the road fairly early. Breakfast eaten, sun, it's that annoying sun that like arises with you guys. It's like always eye level. Is there anything anyone wants to do on this day of travel?
To 3 and 15.
What was it? 3 and 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
We'll yeah, keep the portents. We'll roll items only if something actually happens if people are okay with that.
okay.
Yeah, and I
Well,
assume we
actually,
can long rest and all that shit.
yeah, so go ahead and hit that long rest, switch out your command styles, switch out, you know,
Yeah, that's what I was
I,
looking at.
I
whatever.
can cast Cure Wounds again. Hey.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is there any weird effect? Do I like get any weird sensations or anything like that, or is it just
I'll actually defer to you. What happens after a power drain? What do you think? Because you're
oh.
the one that's building the connection with the broken engine.
Yeah. Do we remember what I was there a visual or anything on the when I lost it? I can't remember last session.
That warm glow began to emit and then just get siphoned into the orb.
Right, yeah. Okay. So I guess without any like when I wake up, without any like me doing anything as I'm kind of getting up staff and it's going around. It'll pass back to me, and I'll feel kind of like, hey, I just cast. Wait, I didn't. And I'll just kind of like look at the staff and be like, did you just do that to me? Okay, I get it now. And it'll just almost feel like I tried to cast it and it's now back on.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is like this brief moment as it's kind of like orbiting in its random pattern around you. It passes near that hand that you would use to deliver it. You feel that as it passes away. I like that. Very cool. I think it was called Power Drain. I want to make sure I didn't lie to the name. It was, yeah, Power Drain. Okay. Cool. Hi, Jones. Hey, buddy. So with that, you pick up on the road again. He's not being very chaotic. He's being more like, look at me, pay attention. See if I can get him on the camera. There you go. Ugh. Hi. Now I gotta fix it. Alright. So traveling, you guys are going to most. Actually, let's have this. Two of you roll me a d20. Let's see how the pacing is for the day. Get y'all involved in this travel just a little bit.
Okay, I'll do one.
Do
Okay.
it.
Someone else give me
A
another one.
D29. That's cheating.
Can't see, Jones. You're blocking.
Professional.
Reroll, Rock.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So, for the most part, the day goes fairly well. However, after, a little after midday, all of you will get the smell of just, that wet, that smell in the air, that rain is coming. And Dragonov will look over and say, "Oh, it's gonna be a big one." And as you guys are traveling and pushing forward, uh, at about 4 or 5 in the evening, it's just the sky has been completely grayed out, turning darker and darker, and then you start hearing cracks of thunder and seeing lightning, and it's just a heavy downpour, significantly slowing the pace of travel.
Bummer.
But you made it really good pace for most of the day. It gets to the point where a lot of the cause members will start riding from caravan to caravan thing. You know, it's not, we're going to call it, we're going to pull off to the side, everyone just, hunker down. You guys don't have a tarp. Um,
I will cast my fan castle again. And
so,
all who are stuck outside are welcome to crowd in.
gotcha. So, as you're wet and soaked, uh, right before it started getting too bad, Rock constructs the tower, and the menagerie are more than welcome. Oxrin and his other partner join you as his meeker.
Yeah, I'll invite
You
the
let
Dusty Pick guys too.
Okay. Yeah, they'll take it. Some of the cause members will just be jumping into other people's wagons, and unfortunately, you lose one more day as they're not going to be. It's really not safe to travel in this type of weather. Even though it is a paved road, there's still wear and tear on it. There's mud. And even the animals don't necessarily want to travel.
What's the what's the surrounding landscape?
So the landscape is, for the most part, it's worked fields. However, where it is not worked fields, it is high grasslands. We're like basically like the type where when the wind blows, it looks like waves in the ocean, essentially, but of grass.
So
Grasses,
pretty
reeds.
plain.
Hmm. Say that again. I don't hear you, Kyle.
My
Yeah.
headset
No.
disconnected like right as I was typing this.
Okay.
Uh, So it's pretty rolling fields and plains, not high hills or low valleys or anything like that.
Yeah, there's really no high hills. There's some small creeks along the way of just natural little, water veins. There are
So
some
the
shrubs and some bushes, but there's no
so
like massive trees. There's no hills. There's none of that.
so the tallest thing within anywhere eyesight would be this big tower that just got erected.
Yeah, essentially.
Man,
Yeah.
Carl's gonna stay on the bottom floor near the door.
Just okay. Yeah, because what the tower is, each is a story, right? So it's like, let's say around about 20 feet tall. It's definitely the tallest thing in this area by a lot. I think like the tallest trees that you would be running into are maybe like 5 foot, 6 foot. What was that, CJ?
Sorry, I thought it was muted.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're good. Um, but yeah, a lot of people will gather. The Dusty Pit guys will be. Well, this is.
Yeah,
Well, dang.
yeah, it's pretty nice.
How is that the rainwater or is that that
No, that comes with this tower. It's just part of the thing.
you'll see the half orc run his hand through. It's like, ooh, it's actually warmed.
Yeah.
Dang, that's um, and he'll just kind of ask like to the open, is this for anyone to? Can I swim? I
Yeah, I
be
think
really
it's
nice.
okay. I think it's fine.
You
There
just
may
see
Yeah,
be
it.
a turtle in there.
yeah, that's what it's here for. Swim, get clean, have a
Okay.
float, have a nap.
Yeah. You'll see that even though it was raining, as the half orc does dump in, there's just this set in little layer of just dust just starts to wash away, and as he kind of sinks in, this little expanding
Cloud.
ring, yeah, cloud. He enjoys it. He's very thankful and very grateful for that, and it becomes it's a pleasant as with the sound of the heavy rainfall, thunder, and the immediate thunder around you guys and everything. It's still a pleasant of enough of an evening inside of Rock's tower that doesn't get washed away because magic. So, I guess I should ask Rock: is it the same ritual in the evening?
Yeah, I will. Ow! Cat scratch from the cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bag. The
Uh,
bag's coming to bite you.
then I will once again. Yeah, I
Okay.
will just continue to. I'll do my bond and
All right.
tell it a quick little tale.
Gotcha. So as all right, so we'll say you do that always separated from everybody, right? Or do you care?
I don't care as long as the bag is not. I don't trust the rest of the menagerie to not try to steal it from me.
Okay. Well, there's a lot. That's the reason I'm asking. Is there's a lot. There's the whole menagerie, Meeker, and then uh, the Dusty Pit guys are here as well.
They can watch what they want. All I mean, they wouldn't see anything. I cast my ritual, and then I'm just singing songs in my head, right? So,
But they
all
would see
they,
you go through the ritual. That's what I'm saying, right?
yeah, yeah,
So,
they would see
okay.
that part.
Okay. That's why I'm just. That's why I was making sure you're not going upstairs to try to hide the fact that you're doing a ritual.
Nope,
That's all.
nope, I'm not.
All right. So the the shifter will kind of elbow you, Davis, and say, "What's your friend up to? Is this just some sort of? Is he doing yoga or something?"
And so am I actually witnessing Rock doing the telepathic bond ritual right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and you would have seen it because you guys have participated. So.
right. He's doing some magic stuff. Yeah, it's the question of what is Rock. That's his name is Rock, by the way. The question of what is Rock doing, I usually don't have a good answer to that. But
Okay.
he's great to have around, and
So
he can come in real handy.
so this is what it's like to travel with a wizard or a mage.
It's the first time I've done it, but yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, first
Well,
time. He's the first one I've traveled with. We've traveled a bunch, but like, he's the only one I've ever traveled with.
understood. Well, I guess we'll watch. Maybe there'll be something visual. We'll
Yeah,
just kind
hopefully
of.
it's not dangerous. It's probably not gonna be dangerous.
Why would he do anything
I
dangerous with
mean,
people inside of?
it's not. He wouldn't do it on purpose. But like I said, when the question is what is he doing, I don't really know most of the time. So I would say be on your guard,
Can
but
you
you're
ask
probably
him?
safe. What was that?
Can you ask him what he's doing so we know if we need to leave?
Hey, Rock, are we good? Are we okay to stay here?
Yeah, just having a chat with my friend, and I pat the bag.
Oh, yeah, we're okay. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. You don't sound very convincing, but
Yeah, he's trying to.
better than being out in the rain.
Yeah, it's much
Oh,
better. It's just, it's cozy in here.
that is cozy. All right. So yeah, Rock, you do manage to, the ritual completes. You're able to feel that bond again. It's the first 6, 10 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds is not that bad, but then all of a sudden it just like pulls on you, this heavy weight, this pressure as it's just consuming the magic of the spell. And as you're going through your little mental ditty towards the bag, uh, you haven't fed the bag today, right?
I didn't say anything, but I would try to feed the bag something every day.
Ah,
So yeah, kind of would be kind of become part of my routine. Just fine. It's not always food. It's like, hey, here's a shiny rock. You know, here's a handful of leaves. Just,
okay.
just yeah. So I would have given it something.
All right, gotcha. You're not going like reaching it in, you're just kind of opening it and throwing in.
No. Yeah, I know better than to. Well,
Okay,
it's a
gotcha.
reach in, and not a reach in. It's a open and throw motion.
Okay, well, since you gave it something today, it's quiet.
Okay.
And then again, as you go to sleep, that same moment of intense cold, dark, and just hunger.
Delightful. I'm gonna have nightmares.
So, I guess I need to ask David. Anything particular in the evening? Where are you gonna go to sleep, sir?
I'll be inside this time.
Inside. Okie dokie. All right.
Just
Anything else? Doing anything? All right. Well, throughout the entirety of the evening, uh, there are times where multiple of you will wake up as there is the loud cracks of thunder echoing through Rock's little tower. But you do eventually get to sleep and get yourselves that long rest. And it's a slow start to the morning just because of how wet everything is. The storm did pass, but you know, takes a while for the various beasts of burden and everything to want to get moving. And but a little bit later start, you're on the road again, and within the next few hours, maybe a little bit more, you should be arriving to Whitlaw. And anything on the road that you guys wish to do?
kind of dovetailing with some of the notes that
Okay.
Donnie had left you. I would ask Meeker and maybe anybody else, be like, so what is this festival of colors? Is this and how long does it last? Has it already started? Like, what is it? What's it all about?
I've actually been forgetting to move the calendar.
Yeah, let's
Where
do
were
that.
we? So this would have been when you guys left Whitlaw. So it took you guys 6 days to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it would have taken you guys another 1, 2, 3, 4, and then because of the rain. Eeh, Jones. Thank you. He's laying on it, it's like, whatever, it's fine, it's there. So yeah, Meeker would fill you guys in. So I believe today's the day that it starts. Shame we won't be there for the beginning, but it's gonna run uh, today, tomorrow, and the following day. Often bleeds into the fourth day. It's just a celebration of when winter uses its hold and we start to get some vibrancy back in our lives. But I mean, where we're at, we don't have the harshest of winters, so we're kind of fortunate. It's really just a reason to gather, drink, sing, participate,
Yeah, is it
events.
like one part of town, or is it just kind of a little bit everywhere? Is there like a
I mean, it's definitely going to be everywhere, but the main festivities are going to be in the Hearth District, the Central District, and then in the Petal Ward, most likely. I mean, but there's going to be expressions of the festival in the Temple Ward, the Lyceum Ward, everywhere. But if you really want to experience it, see like the festivals, the arranged events, the games, the foods.
games?
Oh, wow, so carnivals and everything. Arm wrestling, bag tossing, counting, like best guesses of how many of something is in a jar, bobbing for fruit, games,
Okay.
festivals.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there are other ones as well. It's like there's like wooden sword fights, archery competitions, just everything to enjoy the start of a new bountiful season.
Is this a holiday across most of the entire continent, or this is a city specific holiday?
Uh, are you asking, or are you just trying to
I
see
am
if you know?
asking me
Okay.
personally, just to see if I
Oh,
like if it's a continental one to where, oh yeah, everybody knows it's the Festival of Colors, or is it like
yeah.
this is a
Go
Whitestone
go ahead and
Whitlaw?
yeah, Willow. Yeah, wait. So, go ahead and roll a history check
Oh crap.
just to see if you're aware. Yeah, it's that's 17 total. Yeah, it's essentially across all of the continent. It's really really celebrated in Cled and in the Harvest Reach itself because it is the harvest belt. It is the grain belt, the food belt, the ranch. It is where much of the produce and livestock is produced on the entire continent. So it is really an important time in the nation of Cled and in the region of the Harvest Reach. And since Whitlaw is like the capital, it's a very big thing in Whitlaw.
Okay.
Very, very big thing.
I
But
just
you've
wanted to
heard of
make
it.
sure if my character would be nervous coming into another town celebrating harvest stuff.
Well, this is
That
not so
last
much
one didn't work out so
Yeah,
great.
this is not so much celebrating harvest in itself. This is the change of season
Okay.
and the greens and the life coming back to the land. And as Meeker pointed out, they celebrate it more because you know, it's this region's livelihood. But as far as like, is it recognized throughout? It's absolutely recognized in everywhere that you've traveled.
So, for those of us who have spent time on this continent, specifically in like larger cities and stuff,
Yeah,
like maybe we knew it, but like maybe by a different name or something in different regions or something.
possibly like regional names and maybe not as impactful or influential, right?
Gotcha.
Or like as important of a holiday. But like here, it's one of the main holidays of the year,
Got it.
essentially.
Like they may not have a
And
4-day festival in these other places, but like, oh yeah, look, it's
exactly,
change of seasons. Okay, cool. Next.
exactly. It might be like a 1 day thing on a weekend kind of situation. But yeah, Meeker will go on. Yeah, competitions, ranging from everything. Like all the different wards seem to participate. So you have uh, ones that the Lyceum ward will hold about that'll be either testing one's knowledge and education to calligraphy to music. There's always going to be different trade. Sometimes some of the vendors are feeling more generous at this time of year, as there is that superstition that the more they give, the better luck they'll have in the year. Um, Face painting, all this. So, but with that,
You lost me after arm wrestling. I kind of zoned out.
mm, well, Davis, there is sword fighting as well. However, wooden swords, they don't kill anybody. Hopefully,
Yeah, we'll see.
okay. Well, just letting you know, it's a good time, but being of a sheriff and of the mindset of the cause, of course, there's going to be, you know, more questionable activity and more cut purses and brigands and all that will be active as well.
So, unrelated question. I know, and I'll look around and like we're just actually. Are we still in the tower? I don't actually remember where we are.
No, you guys are on the road already, like
Oh,
for
rather.
a few hours.
Okay. Look at if there's any cause. Are there any cause members around, like within earshot?
They've seen over the last couple of days to kind of relax the
Give you more space.
yeah, they kind of ventured.
I'll be like, I know Seb and the Sovereign weren't in the best of graces with one another. Is there anything at all like an Adventurers League here in Whitlaw? I know that was what he wanted Seb to do, and he refused. Is there anything like that at all in Whitlaw?
I mean, no, but Seb does have his tavern that people don't know it's his.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But I thought I mentioned it. If I didn't, forgive me. But yeah, he's got.
Out of character, I'm pretty sure you
Uh,
did. I just forgot.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, because I remember I gave you the name. Yeah, you'd want to go look for
Yeah, I'll
where
look it
is
up
it? I
too.
just want to see. No, I know the person's name. I just want to see if I put it somewhere. I didn't actually put it. So the notes on it are Seb refuses to move his operations to Whitlaw, even at the palace attempt of the sovereign. The Buckingham answers is functional. Oh yeah, okay. So it's I know where it is. Yeah. He's in the heart of the Pedal district. You're gonna find the Bucking Mad,
That's
and
right.
you're gonna be looking for Patas. She runs the place.
Pathos. I don't think I heard that name before.
Patas. Patas. It might have been when you weren't here, honestly.
Yeah, I do have that in my notes. Okay.
So, but yeah, Patas and those that are employed there serve as, well, eyes and ears, information gatherers for Seb and his operations. Good folk. Trust a lot of them with my life, actually.
Oh wow, that's a good endorsement.
Oh yeah, Seb. Seb doesn't just pick anybody.
Would they? Do they? Is it? Do they have like an inn of any kind, like where we could stay? Be nice to be able to lay my head somewhere with some people who are trustworthy watching over.
I mean, there are a few, but usually, usually the rooms are always taken. I mean, maybe though that, but there's plenty. We're talking Whitlaw is massive. There, you'll be able to find taverns, meat houses, shops, watering holes, whatever you need.
Got it.
Yeah, just don't necessarily want to call any favors to draw attention to, if that makes sense. So, But yeah, the bucking mat, or it's called bucking
Bucking
mat.
mats. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So as you guys venture a little bit more, when you guys are, because of the way that the terrain is and land works, even when you guys are 2 hours more out of travel, you can already start to see Whitlaw because it is just so massive. You can see the gray walls off to the distance, the various high buildings that make it up. Not in detail, but you can still see it as you're approaching. And travel is a bit slower today just because of all the latent saturation. But you do see that you guys will arrive within, you know, a brief moment or a brief time, I should say, not a moment. Um, now, anyone doing anything right before you guys arrive? Let me put you guys back here. Boop. Ooh, don't delete that page. Ooh, silly. All right. So as you guys are traveling and approaching, Dragnar will kind of go to Sed and the group and be like, "All right, boys. So how do we know that the gems and stuff are good to bring in, and how are we going to sneak them in if we are bringing them in?" Because Meeker said that they're going to inventory, and what happens if they check it and they question why we have this? Thoughts, ideas?
I mean, they're good now, right?
Uh, I don't. I don't trust the security at the gate. I think, cursed or not, I think it's safer keeping it with Meeker, and we'll just come back for him when we get out of here.
Uh, I don't know if
I
he
mean,
wants to hold on to it. That asks a lot of questions of him too. Hey, Meeker.
Meeker will be with you guys and say, I mean, I said I could take them and go hide them, but if they are expunged, I mean, you can probably just put it in some of your belongings. And I don't know how thorough they're going to be. They have no real reason to pat
Yeah,
everybody down.
I have it with my stuff, and if they ask, I think it's my earnings from helping out Green Hill. I am the treasurer for the Crass Menagerie.
Yeah, maybe let somebody else answer for you though, because it's hard for you. Don't convince people very easily. I don't think, Rock.
But
Yeah, but I mean, no. Okay, I mean, you're not wrong. Anybody? Hey, Al, you're good at convincing people. I'll toss the thing.
I get. Okay, I'll give it a go.
Al
Like, can
collapses in a
Al?
heap because he's
Oh
encumbered.
shit! Don't worry, I'm carrying it. I'm not equipping it. It's different, right? Shit.
I'm not gonna do that to you. Don't worry. But yes, it
No,
is
I
a
can
heavy
feel
bag though.
the demons have been
There's,
lifted. It feels lighter.
Yeah.
yeah, doesn't Al have like 1 pound of carry space left?
I have 3 pounds. Thank you very much.
You can't carry that bag.
Three
You
point zero
cannot.
one.
Yeah, it would. But we're for the sake of right now, I'll allow it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
Why does
I'm
this
not
guy have
gonna.
a hunch?
Yeah. I mean, Al, it will be heavy and it will be unpleasant, but for the sake of this, I'm not going to.
Mm.
I don't. Unless if you guys really want to, that's
Oh
fine. We
shit.
can't.
No, just keep in mind
Uh,
you're pretty burdened.
yeah.
Mhm. Um, do we know if they're gonna do a pat down or anything? Because and I'm gonna touch my hair, and my hand's gonna stop where it's invisible.
Oh yeah,
Think
you
things might be a
may not
little
want to be
weird.
doing an illusion stuff. I
They
mean,
probably.
if you're
They
gonna
won't
do
have
one, okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Meeker was gonna say they just don't give them a reason for a pet, but you are going to be bringing weapons in, so they will have to check. They might pat you bringing weapons. They're probably going to pat you down now that I think about it, and they're probably gonna enforce The tie, the law of ties. You know this, right? Enter a big city with weapons. They make you restrain it on your person.
Makes
This
sense.
is not news to many of you. Like, you guys know this.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, basically, you break the tie, they know you drew your weapon, you get arrested, etc. Pretty straightforward. So,
I'll look at
listen,
Dragnar and be like, some of us don't really have any visible weapons. Although technically I have my bow, but
and Dragnar will just say, some of us are
yeah,
weapons.
yeah. Same
Physical
shit.
weapon.
I mean, oh wait, are they gonna make Karos file his claws? Is that what's gonna happen? Do we gotta start filing them down? Like you see him just like Gurrit make the motion like
No, they're not gonna do that to you,
Kind of,
Carlos.
yeah, I'll kind of like flex the hands, be like
oh,
personal property, you know?
Whoa,
but we
shit.
can put a muzzle on him, right? Like so he can't bite anybody.
I like to see him try.
Oh, okay. Dragnar's just being froggy with you. He would be.
I
So
feel
yeah.
like I've seen hasn't Dragnar bitten somebody?
Probably.
I feel like I've noticed that happen in a fight before. Like I haven't bitten anything yet except for food.
No, yeah, I think Dragnar has pretty much used every major part. So he's used elbows, knees,
Yeah, like
feet,
forehead.
hands, shoulders, forehead. I'm pretty sure he's bitten something. Yeah, I mean he's just straight up tackled things. So
He's Tasmanian devil.
yeah, in a dwarf's body. But I'll say Meeker will just kind of say, listen, honestly, if you guys are certain that the bag is no longer of magical danger, I don't think they're not gonna question it, they're not gonna take it, but they might document that individuals with a large sum are coming in, which means you might have some extra eyes on you. But then again, if you guys are being checked in as the Crass Menagerie, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be extra eyes on you anyways.
Yeah. Do we have
And
to
besides,
register as a group like that? I guess,
no,
but
I
they already
mean,
know we're coming, so never mind.
riders were sent, right? Days
Right,
before.
right.
And
Have we
Frank, mm,
have we technically been paid for anything in like the past?
your payment is the various collection of pelts, bones,
Oh yeah, that's right.
all that, the snail flail sales, like it's a few crates that they're in this cart with you guys that are being taken up there. That was like kind of like your thank you payment.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was kind of our homework to come up with like anything that particular that we wanted, and I don't know if any of us have done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so like it's your way of like, you know,
If you wanted,
obviously the flail snail scale is an example. Like if you guys wanted to get something of like spell warding or that made, you might be able to. Whitlaw is likely a place where you can find people that are crafty and skilled and able to actually make magical things.
yeah, we should probably end up with a displacer cloak or two, and a couple of other things out of these
Yeah, and
things.
and like don't like restrict yourself to like, oh, we have a displacer base, we need a displacer. Like think like if you guys want to like and I mean even like if it's like you guys wanted a sentinel shield but you guys don't use shields, you might be able to come up with a sentinel's helmet or something like that if you wanted that effect. Like because excuse me, the various bits and pieces of all these different monstrosities and animals and stuff, like it, as long as you can kind of justify it and role play it as you know, be creative. Like if something is known for having a clean sight, and you say that you have like the skull of this type of creature, perhaps a visor can be made out of it or something like that. So I kind of wanted it to be kind of loose and goose so that it's an opportunity for you guys to potentially get maybe an item or so that you were interested in, right? So that's your payments.
Hmm.
So have fun with it, like
Yeah.
And there's a chance for you guys to trade in some of the items that you guys have acquired. You know, sell some of the things just at raw value. There's a whole bunch of opportunities. So
Okay.
yeah, basically Oxren and his oxes are carrying some supplies, but they're also carrying, I think it was 3 crates of trophies for you guys, which I have an idea of how much it's quote unquote worth. You guys don't really understand.
1,000,000 gold.
So, but yeah, as you guys are approaching, seeing the great gray walls, the battlements and everything of Whitlaw, because it is a fortified metropolis. I mean, not much bad actually happened. There's really, no major wars going on and all that, but it is a remnant of the times. And Whitlaw has existed since the Black War, thus it is still enforced and kept. And you've heard, and some of you may have experienced, like Whitlaw is the central barracks and strongholding of the Verdant cause. And as it is the metropolis, it has a very high military and guard presence here as well. So, but you
Before
do
we,
also see. Go ahead.
sorry, before we pull up too much closer, can I give an inspiration to Davis and Meeker?
Sure, absolutely. So you're gonna do
Way
this
to the
like when you're about
gates.
10 minutes out or something?
Within 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. So I think the page should swing over. There we go. Yeah. So you guys would be basically coming along down here. And you will see that there are fields surrounding Whitlaw, various crops, and but there's still some open high grass plains. There are buildings, structures, and homes and stuff, even spilling outside of the walls. But not a ton, but there are some. However, as you guys do start to approach the southern walls, and you do start traveling through, and you see the various individuals coming through, this outskirts is very, um, well, impoverished. It's not. It's essentially like if we were to use a Game of Thrones reference, it's like Fleabag.
It's the
You know,
slums.
it's the slums, the outskirts and the slums. Uh, there are various odors that are not pleasant. There is the general gray and brown muck and grime to the buildings, the streets, the people as you're traveling through. There's people that are butchers and trying to sell various bits of animals that are just hanging on hooks, kind of hard to identify. Not necessarily cut in the most clean fashion. Uh, you hear the sounds of children laughing and running around. You also hear babies crying. You hear it's just not a very pleasant walk through or ride through. And you see like as you guys are kind of heading through that some people will start to approach and the cause members will kind of shove them away or kind of keep them away from getting too close to the caravan. And the caravan has significantly tightened up to where it's basically like one by one file straight line, where essentially the head of the oxen or the beast of burden are but like a foot away from the next caravan.
If any of the cause members gets a little too aggressive with pushing people away, I'll chastise them and be like, "Hey,
Uh, sure.
they're just trying to, they're just trying to get by. Don't don't manhandle it."
Well, you say that until they try to jump in here and take stuff. These are These people belong outside the walls, and that's where they stay. And they try to take what belongs inside of the walls. So they banter back with you. But as you guys do settle down and approach, and you hear more commotion, clattering, you hear some of the verdant cause calling out to one another, like, "All right, pull those 7 to the left. We'll have an inspector come by in the next 5-10 minutes. Make sure no one leaves. Make sure everything's accounted for. Open up the back of the wagons. Get ready for inspection and inventory." And as you guys peer out, there are multiple battlements. There are even temporary battlements established in the sense of like wooden platforms with some towers. There are individuals of the Verdant Cause, as well as other individuals that seem to be dressed decently well, and they seem to be having like scrolls, parchments, ledgers, and inks and quills ready to essentially do some sort of notes taking. Um, the the seven of y'all are pulled off to the left, and here you see that there are quite a number of caravan wagons seemingly either stuck in limbo or just waiting to be permitted in. But they're not from the same group that you guys have been traveling with.
Any identifying like seals, sigils?
Sure, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure. That's not very good. That would be a total of 12.
Well, there's some that you kind of recognize. There's actually another one that has the pick and the leaf from the dusty pick. There's one other cart that has the joint Foxwoods crest on it. Other than that, not really. There's some that are vaguely familiar that you may have seen through your travels of, different smatterings of colors on, like, different fields with different colored symbols. So they kind of look familiar, but you're not certain who or what they are, but they look familiar.
I'll just look at Mika and be like, so, I mean, you wanted to help see if you can help expedite it. Is this just a waiting game, or is there any way to get this over quickly?
This is where it kind of comes into handy that you guys have been expected. So they might get you in, but again, if they get you in, they might ask you guys to do stuff.
They
So,
can ask.
I don't know. I mean, you guys have made some sort of name for yourselves, right? So, perhaps they're gonna try to put you to work during the festival or something. Be my guess. But I'll try to get you out of that. No promises.
Understood.
So, but if you guys do go inside, do you have plans to stay, or do you want me to try to get y'all in and out as?
Uh,
Because we
I'll just look to the group, be like, could do a weekend here, right?
Sej is, what was it? I want to see this festival.
Yeah, seems like it could
I
be
want
fun.
to see the people. I want to see the colors.
Yeah, I want to have fun.
I think we're due.
Also, I
Dragnar,
wouldn't mind finding a magic shop.
well, likely the Lyceum Ward or in the Petal District, you might be able to find some. I guarantee you'll be able to find something.
And maybe a tobacco shop.
I would be shocked if you could not find any types of many things that are either comfort or intoxication, my friend.
Excellent.
Like, this is a mecca of trade and exchange of not just goods, but knowledge and tradition. There's so much beyond these walls.
Yeah, I think we've earned a bit of a weekend of frivolity and fun, but keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you pay attention because it is a big city, and big city's got all sorts of crazy things that can happen. So
And Dragnar will be kind of like scratching where that is, the wound is, and say, and maybe some answers.
maybe.
Hmm. Well, with that, let's go ahead and take our first break, and I'll give you an proper introduction to Whitlaw when we return.